Its website provides the front door to the Thrift Savings Plans for most federal employees. The board that runs the TSP has contracted for many updates and improvements. A couple of years ago, the new portal had a rocky start. How is it doing now? TSP millionaire Abe Grungold joins me now with his take on it. And Abe, good to have you back. You've tried a number of functions recently just to see how that website is working. And tell us what you found. Let's start with changing withdrawals, something people need to do regularly.
Yes, Tom, I don't usually go on the TSP website very often, even though I've been a participant my entire, federal career and beyond. But I've been hearing about some new changes, and I said, I'm going to take a very close look at the TSP website and see what I can find. And the most amazing change is the change with the withdrawals. Finally, after 2 years, the TSP board has gotten it right. Before the website was changed several years ago, it would take some effort to make a change in your withdrawal. When the new website came into play, you basically had to call them. You had to call the TSP on the 800 number, tell them that you wanted to cancel your withdrawal, and then create a new one. That, in theory, would take approximately 2 weeks to do. But now, this very month, I went in and I made a change to my TSP withdrawal without calling anyone. I was on the website, I canceled my withdrawal, and within minutes, I created a new one, and I got it approved within 2 days. So that is a tremendous plus that the TSP has accomplished.
Right, and just a reminder, if you cancel your withdrawal, don't forget the second step of creating a new one, because if you are in the minimum withdrawal zone, you could be in trouble with the IRS.
Absolutely. You have to take everything into consideration. And the only delay that I had is that my wife had to approve the new withdrawal. She didn't have to approve the cancellation, but she had to approve the new one. So 2 days is nothing to get that accomplished, where prior would take several weeks, and you would hope it would take only several weeks. No, this is a big, big improvement.
Your wife is not like the one that lost her credit card to a thief, and you didn't cancel it because the thief spent less than your wife.
No, but I love that story.
Yeah, it's old and it's always funny. All right, and what about changing interfund transfer and contribution allocations? A little bit more complicated in some sense.
Yes, the old way of doing this was each step, whether it was a interfund transfer or a contribution allocation, you had to go into a separate module and make that change. Now, there is one module where you can make either change or both changes at once. You don't have to click out of that module menu. You can do it within the same view on the TSP website. And that is very important because people usually make one change and they forget to make the other. And it's very important, if you want to be consistent with how you're managing your TSP, to make sure that you're not forgetting either step or, one or the other. This is also a very big plus that the TSP has done. They've made it very easy for the TSP participant to do either one of these steps.
Right, that idea of being able to do everything within one view or one drop-down or one module really helps with confidence to know that the changes you made took somehow.
Yes, it actually, I recently did this with one of my clients who wanted to make the change, and I was somewhat surprised to see that this was now developed, and it makes it really super easy for the TSP participant to make these changes. Super easy.
We are speaking with retired federal manager Abe Grungold, now owner of AG Financial Services. And the historical information on one's account, the TSP board was saying that they weren't going to put that onto the main website simply because of how much data storage it required and the fact that people tended to not look at it very much anyway. What did you find there?
Yes, unfortunately, the TSP has been very volatile in the last few weeks. And I just wanted to see what my TSP balance was 2 weeks ago. You can't do that now. You could do that in the old TSP website 2 years ago. You could look at your balance at any day in the year and going back many years. Today, you just cannot do it. You can go back and look at the last quarter or the last 6 months or whatever. The TSP, unfortunately, got rid of this information because they felt that it was too costly to maintain it. And this actually was a nice view that I always enjoy because, you always experience a downward trend in the market and you want to see how much did your account go down in this downward trend or an upward trend in the market? How much did it go up? And to take a look back a few weeks, a month, 2 months was a really ideal way of seeing the effect of the market on your account. Unfortunately, you can't do that.
So you might have to buy a nice sheet of yellow line paper, draw columns on it, and just jot them down every week, and then make your own little old-fashioned spreadsheet.
Yes, actually, you can do that. And it takes a little bit of effort on an Excel spreadsheet. Yes, you can track it and you can look back to see what the share price was on these given days. So yes, you can create your own look back. It wouldn't be that difficult, takes a little effort on your part, but you can do it on your own if you really want to.
And again, the new website that came out, I think it was in middle of 2022 at this point, has been worked on and improved ever since. What's your sense of how it looks, the layout, and finding items in general now?
Well, Tom, I got to be honest with you. The website looks nice with the fonts and, the enhancements that they have made, but there's a lot of wasted area, a lot of open space on the website where they could fill it in with something. And there's a lot of information on the first view of the website that is really kind of not necessary. You don't need to start looking at videos when you first log in, etc. I think what the TSP needs to create is an index of topics that people are interested in getting information on. And when you click on the index, like say you want interfund transfer, you click on that hyperlink, you immediately go to that page. Now the website is filled with menus and sub-menus, and it is very difficult to navigate when you're looking for something. Like I just wanted to know how many total shares did I have in a particular fund. It takes a lot of effort on my part to try to find that. And that's a very simple piece of information that I should be able to find that easily.
Yeah, I think web designers do a lot of things because they can. And so everything comes out looking like sort of a diner menu, and somewhere I can't find breakfast.
Exactly. You see the pictures of the eggs and the bacon and all the dishes, and when you actually get the meal, it doesn't look like that.
Well, that's the other case too, yeah.
An index, I think the old website was really more driven on an index and that type of a principle, which really worked, and it was easy to find information. But now I think there are just too many things going on the TSP website when you first log in, and it's very distracting for the user. That's just my feeling. And again, I've been using it for many, many years, both the old system and the new one. So they need to do some improvements.
Yeah, since the Dow was 10,000 is when you started using it probably. And I started using when the Dow was, 5,000 or 3,000, I forget one. And with respect to the mobile app, I mean, more and more people like to do things on the phone. What's your sense of how that looks?
Yes, the mobile app is an interesting feature that TSP participants can look at their balance and do some transactions on the phone. Personally, I think this is a very dangerous thing for participants because somehow if your phone falls into the wrong hands, you could potentially lose your retirement. And who wants to really walk around with their entire retirement nest egg in their pocket available for someone to take from them? Now, in the event that this would happen, to a TSP participant.